It leads me on to my next guest, she is the biggest superstar in the world. She's a legend of the theatre and the silver screen, and for so much more. She's an EGOT, which means she's won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar and a Tony Award. That's just the tip of the iceberg. She released her first 60 years album 60 years ago. She's since sold in excess of 150 million records worldwide. And as you're going to hear, I have been a fan of this lady for as long as I can remember. So when the chance came up to interview her about her best-selling memoir, My Name Is Barbra, I literally jumped at it after I picked myself up off the floor, of course. At the time, I've got to be honest, I had that terrible cold. It was a couple of weeks ago. And as you'll hear, I don't sound my best, but nothing was going to get me away from doing this. Now, we did have a limited amount of time, and you'll be hearing me being asked to wrap up. I didn't. I could have chatted to her for hours, but, you know, that's showbiz, isn't it? I am genuinely thrilled to say, and this is really beyond my wildest dreams, that coming up next, you will hear me chatting to the one and only Barbra Streisand. I wanted to say this all my life. Hello, Barbra Streisand.
Tell me how you pronounce my name.
Streisand.
Streisand.
That's right, isn't
so
it?
Nice. Nice to hear it's pronounced properly.
Oh, I've been practicing. Believe me, I've been practicing.
Oh, good. Well, it paid off.
Well,
That's right.
Why do people get it wrong? It's annoying.
I have no idea because it's spelled S-A-N-D, which is sand.
Yes.
On the beach, right?
Yeah.
Sand.
You'd think it was obvious.
What was so odd about that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, I lost my nerve. I was going to say hello, gorgeous. But I lost my nerve to do it. I couldn't do it.
Oh, no, I think that's great. What a great opening.
Oh. So you think Richard E. Grant was a fan? Believe me, he's got nothing on me.
I think there should be a special word for him. An Uber fan.
An Uber fan. Well, please colour me that as well, because I've been listening to you and following you since I was 7 years old.
No.
Yeah, I lived for a while with my parents in South Africa where there was no television, there was very little radio, and we rented a house. And the woman had all of your music and all the soundtracks to musicals, and I became obsessed with Funny Girl.
Oh, come on!
Seriously,
what a great story!
Oh, and I think because this is what I work in musical theatre, I work in music, and I think it's because of you. It's as simple as that.
Wow!
Yeah,
isn't that nice? That's a nice feeling to be able to affect someone's life.
Well, you genuinely have, and a lot of people. I've been spending the last 2 days. I got sent a copy of your autobiography, and I've devoured it.
Wait a minute. Telling me that you read the whole book?
I've read the whole book in 2 days. I've got a cold, so I've been sat in bed with my hot toddy reading about your life. Yeah. Nothing would have got me out of bed other than you this evening.
Oh,
nothing
that is
would have.
great.
But I tell you what, I tell you what surprises me about it. I mean, it took you a long time to write it. You've been writing it for 10 years.
Sure did. Yeah.
I think it's how really honest you are. You're honest about your work, the struggles you faced, your relationships, your relationship with family. And I wonder what that process must have been like for you.
Well, it was hard, but I had a very strong editor who kept saying to me, you can't prance around this subject. You have to really leave some blood on the page.
And you have.
When people ask me about those things in real life, I mean, I can't say certain things. I can write them, but I can't actually mouth the words.
Is it because would it make you too emotional to do it? Is it too personal to do that?
Too personal. Yeah. And I don't want to, let's say, hurt someone's feeling. And I don't want to just have my whole soul uncovered.
Yeah. I got the sense, though, that what you wanted to do was properly set the record straight about, because there are a lot of misconceptions about you, what it's like to work with you, what it's like to know you and be around you. And unless you put the record straight yourself, no one's going to know the truth, are they?
Yeah, that's the truth. I mean, that first story that I told about one of my cinematographers, Andrei Barkoviak, coming over for dinner, and he was going to cook, which is great. I can't cook.
Which surprises me. Well, you do everything else.
But there are many simple things I can't do, but I just can't do it. I did take cooking lessons, by the way.
With those
Chinese
nails?
Cooking lessons. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's nothing to do with that. When you take cooking classes, they serve you wine.
Yeah.
And then you mix a little, and then you chop a little, and you put it into the pan, and you're taking cooking lessons. Yeah, one was a Persian woman who taught me how to make Persian rice and moussaka, but I mostly enjoyed the Chinese cooking class. And if I ever want to tell people, well, not that I can, but if I ever had to tell somebody I could cook, which I never would, you know how easy it is to make hoisin spare ribs?
No.
Hoisin spare ribs is just something that you buy the spare ribs, and then you put it in a pan with some molasses. That was the key to that. I love analyzing, by the way, food. Like I don't like flying. So one time I had the best flight. I had like a 700-page cooking book, one of those great cooking books, because I can imagine the tastes of each recipe. And so it really got me through a 7-hour flight.
Great. I'm on one soon. I shall try it. Can we go back to the book? You dedicated it to your father, who you didn't know, and your mother, who you did. And it's the relationship, the loss of your father without you knowing him. And then this really strange relationship with, I hope you don't mind me saying, with your mother. And how difficult it must have been for you throughout your entire life, with the incredible success, the incredible generosity you showed to her, that you got nothing back.
It must have been helpful in my own way. It was painful not to have a mother, saying, "Oh, of course, you're a good enough singer, or you'll be a great actress." But I had the opposite, which I didn't find out for many years about. I hate to say this because I feel bad for her, that she never got to experience her dreams. My mother had a beautiful voice, and because my mother never gave me any encouragement in terms of being, a person that could be somebody in the world, I don't know. Maybe it's a question of the lack of self-worth. I'm not sure, because I have two versions of myself in my head, I think, still. One is the one who can accomplish what I dream of. And the other one is, you mean you really like that music? You really liked me in that film? Maybe that's a psychosis. I don't know. I don't know what you call that, but it is true with me. As I say now, even about the book, if you like the book very much, I can see why you like it. But if you don't like it, I could also see why you don't like it.
All of us are so glad that you started doing concerts again after so long. You conquered your stage fright. Yeah. That must have been an enormous challenge and a thrill. And
yeah, thank you. And it took me, I think, like 27 years.
I was there on that opening night in Wembley.
No.
I was there.
What?
I was there. Of course I was. I wasn't going to miss that. And the moment... I can't explain the feeling within the audience going, is she actually going to turn up? Is she going to be there? And when you came on and opened with, I don't know why I'm frightened.
Exactly. Can you imagine, by the way, that song was written before my concert, obviously, for a show called Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah.
But it captured what I was feeling. And then I think the writer of that song helped write a few new lines.
Don Black.
To express a little bit more of an idea of, I was singing for you all, or something like that. Yeah, it was I can remember that night very vividly.
So can I.
In my dressing room before, listening to a tape on excellence.
Yeah.
I had to calm my brain down. In other words, just the striving for excellence. I was so nervous. Do you see what I mean?
Of course.
It's just like, because I felt so vulnerable, so scared.
Genuinely, it is a brilliant read. And it's important, I think, for you that the record is set straight on your life. It's fascinating.
The myth, the power of the press.
Yeah.
the power of the printed word. In other words, mythology, these stories I used to hear about myself, that's when I said, I can't give any more interviews. I can't read anything about myself, because it hurts to hear lies. I can't understand how we can function in a society with lies, and yet it's predominant. It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
But people will believe it, and people will react accordingly. That's a real danger, isn't it?
And it's why do they have a tendency to believe the negative versus the positive? That's an interesting thing.
Barbra, I'm being shouted at because I've gone way over my time, apparently.
But that's my fault, because I had to go have a bite of lunch.
Exactly.
Because I was starving.
Can you tell your people?
Can't, yeah.
I'm talking to Barbra Streisand. This doesn't happen often.
Yeah. Can't you squeeze it in?
What's the most important thing, do you think, that you've achieved, that you've been able to achieve because of what you've done?
Beside my wonderful son, who's an amazing human being.
Yeah.
And kind of brilliant at everything he touches, whether it's painting, singing. Have you ever heard him sing?
Yes, I saw him in your concert.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Doesn't he have an amazing voice? Oh, my God.
Yeah.
He just blew me away when he played me that that song that I said, I have to sing that with you. What do I think my best achievement is?
Yeah.
Maybe in my belief that honesty wears well.
It's a lovely way to put it. Honesty wears well. Thank you so much for chatting to me. I've really loved it. I've loved it.
Well, thank you, Michael. Thank you.
It's been
so much.
A complete joy. I hope you'll take to the stage again one day soon, because I won't miss it. You never know.
You never know. Where do you live? In what country?
I live in London.
In England?
Yeah,
London.
I'm in London.
I love London.
I know you do.
Did you ever see Funny Girl with me in London?
I was a little too young. I know. Sadly,
I'm a little too old.
Yeah, I was a little too young. No, I was.
Fascinating.
But we have many friends in common. And,
good.
And Richard J. Alexander sent in my best. I was in Les Mis originally. So I know him well. And of course, Don Black and Andrew Lloyd Webber and so on. So all people I've worked with and why I'm doing what I do. And
that's great. That's great.
Barbra Streisand, anyway. I bloody love you. It's as simple as that.
Did you just say Barbra Streisand?
Barbra Streisand. You know I said Streisand.
Streisand.
Yes, I said. I've been practicing this, Barbara. Don't do
it one more time.
Barbra Streisand. I bloody love you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my lovely.
You were lovely
I hope to see you in person one day. God bless.
One day.
God bless.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you. I can't believe I've chatted with Barbra Streisand about hoisin ribs. I mean, I love my job. I am so bloomin' lucky. I really am. My Name is Barbra by Barbra Streisand is out now.